Hey, gorgeous, and welcome to this Facebook Live. I wanted to come in and ask the question of what would it be like for you to really step into your own soul power and really own it and rock it out? Like, how different would that change your life? For me, stepping into your own power is about having the ability to be really honest, real, and raw with yourself. Go in and ask those really potent questions. Hey, Kate, hey, Tyler, where you are really truthful and honest with yourself, where you bring that transparency to those desirable questions that you're seeking rather than dialing around them or pretending that they're not there or seeking outside of yourself to receive the answers that you can quite easily give to yourself. These really honest conversations that we need to have with ourselves, or that our soul encourages us to have with ourselves, allows us to be able to move into that realm of really stepping into our power. We spend a lot of time dancing around being able to have those truthful conversations with ourselves, or we will have those kind of questions going in the back of our mind, but not really allowing ourselves to tune into those answers that come through to help guide you every step of the way. I know there have been many a times my own self where I have known that I needed to go in and have these honest conversations with myself, but didn't always do that. So I'd love to hear if you've had those moments where you know that really stepping into your power is about having those transparent, honest, raw conversations with yourself to be able to gain the access to the information that you're seeking. And this can be so easily done by just learning how to tune into your own truth by asking yourself, like what I do is I go, hey, Rachel, what is it that I'm blocking? What am I resisting? What am I preventing myself from being able to do or see or hear or feel or whatever to be able to move to that next level? Or what things do I need to change in my world? What things do I need to stop doing, and what are some of the things that I need to start doing? Along with then asking myself the questions of like, what do I need to think, feel and believe on a consistent basis to be able to really step in and own that soul power within myself and ignite that within myself to realize that I have the strength to be able to do anything that I possess. I'm so pleased that you are having been conversations this year, Kate. I'd love to hear when you're having these great internal soulful power, like soul power conversations. What is the difference that you're noticing in your life through having done them? And yeah, sometimes they're definitely, sometimes they are the hardest conversations to have. But yeah, so totally true, Tracy, but they're so incredibly rewarding. This is how we talk about stepping into our power and feeling empowered, but a lot of the times I find people see that as something that is external, something that we need to express to others, when it's not. It's about having those soulful conversations with self. Because when you can be really honest and transparent with yourself, this is where you like expand your own levels of growth, where you start to move into that new level, that moment where you remove the veil of the BS stories or the limitations or the excuses that we put in front of us and have these real raw conversations, because then we start to recognize that your soul is always communicating back to you intuitively. So the more conversations you have, the more levels of intimate intuition starts coming through to guide you every single step of the way. And the more you do that, the more you build a stronger bond with your soul, which communicates to your intuition. So it's just such a win-win situation, yet it's sometimes the thing that scares us the freaking most, because I think as humans, sometimes we're a little bit scared of the truth, because the truth can like give you a bit of a throat punch sometimes, because that honesty that your soul is providing to you is all about you being able to grow into that version of yourself, to be able to align with your strengths, to be able to recognize your weaknesses, to be able to have those conversations around the failures that you've had, but also talk about your successes that you've had. And these are not conversations that we usually tend to have with ourselves. One, because a lot of the times we haven't been taught to do that. So I want to share this knowledge with you to go in and have these deep internal soulful conversations with yourself, because All of the answers you seek are within you, not externally, they're within you. That is so very cool, Tracy. She's written, falling in love and accepting all parts of myself is where personal power is for me. That's awesome. And learning to love yourself comes from those internal conversations that we have with ourselves, because we have to tell ourselves that we are loved. We have to have those conversations where we remind ourselves that we are accepting of all parts of self. So it still comes back to that and originates back to those soulful conversations that we have with ourselves that allow us to step into that personal power. And I'm so grateful that for you, Tracy, that has really helped you be able to radiate and shine through having these soulful conversations. And this is the empowering thing about these soulful conversations. They will always guide you back to your soulful truth, the truth that is for you. And someone else can't define what that truth is for you. So they can only ever, when you seek outside of yourself for answers, they can only give you an answer based on their version of that perception around what you're going through. You are the only person that knows fully the perception filter that you're using, the stories that you could be hiding behind. Only you know what is truly so deeply passionate for you. Only you know what you love so deeply. And so therefore you become the best guide that can help you every single step of the way. So these soulful conversations are where we step into our power, where we move into that realm of being really empowered by our souls. Thank you so much, gorgeous. And so therefore I really wanted to come in and have this conversation with you today to ignite your passions, for you to be reminded just how incredibly powerful you are. Stop giving your power away or expecting someone else to empower you. This is where you can empower your own self. And this is when we start to realize our own potential, just how incredibly powerful we are. But I think there is a little bit within each of us that is actually terrified of our own potential, because then sometimes we have that tendency to go, well, if I actually knew what my full potential was, why did I not connect into it, or why didn't I tap into it all these years ago? This is not about that. It is about what can you do now to create rapid change to align you with every single thing that you freaking want, because you have the potential to have that come into your stratosphere simply through the internal conversations, because your soul will always guide you, will always share with you what your lessons are. It will always give you every bit of honest, real insight and wisdom that is designed with you in mind, because each individual person is so incredibly unique. So the same information could be shared 100 different ways, but it needs to be designed in a way that is going to deeply connect with you. So just remember, you have the power to be able to manifest, to be able to align, to stay in flow, but you also have the power to really deeply understand who yourself is at a true soul level. And that comes with having these real, raw, honest conversations. And I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed when you do. You'll have aha moments. You'll have moments that your soul gives you a kick up the ass, but it'll only do that because you freaking deserve it. It'll have moments that your soul will remind you just your strengths, your passions, the things that you're freaking amazing at, and it will reveal to you the things that are classified as your weakness to give you encouragement to be able to go, hey, if I channel a little bit more energy here, I can turn that into a strength if I want that to. This is the moment that we start to really be introduced to who you are at a very soulful level, not that person, that doesn't matter what age you are. We all have these layers that have been, I'm not going to say imposed. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Matthew. Hey, Sinead. And thank you so much for all of the gorgeous hearts. We all have these layers that we have all taken on board as what we deem to be our truth, or we've heard a sentence or an expression being said so many times that we actually think that we need to believe it. So we have all of these layers of distorted filters that are creating the perception filters in which we view the world. Yet when we have these soulful truths, we also get to have a look at these distortions and these beliefs and these conversations that we've had with other people to realize that they're actually not a part of what you believe in. So we can actually go through and surrender and let them go so easily, because we can actually understand who we are at a soulful level. And for me, I think this has always been a question that I have always been seeking to understand within myself, with who am I? And I think that is a question that every single person that walks this earth wants to understand that answer. But in order to be able to receive the answers, you need to be able to learn how to tune in to that soulful power and have these internal soulful conversations that reveal all this to you, because it's just sitting there waiting for you, that you can access at any time. It's going to be the most trusted guide that you ever have in this world to help you in your journey. All you've got to do is go in and have those conversations and chat with yourself and wait for the guidance to come through. A lot of the time it's going to come through rapidly. Sometimes it'll come through with little intuitive nudges that's sort of like, maybe you should be getting your shit together, or hey, why don't you have a look in this direction? I think this could provide you with the next step. All of these are ways in which your soul is allowing you to harness that soul power and access it, embrace it, embody it, and then utilize it to its full potential. It's there within each and every one of you, and that's what I would love for you all to be able to start connecting into and start practicing on a daily basis, and go in and ask those hard questions. Go in and ask those, hey Jackie, hey Karen, hey Michelle. Each and every time you ask yourself a question, your soul will provide you with the answer and give you the guidance. And therefore, this is where we start to take that personal power. Not so much do we take it back, but we actually step into that place of starting to own our own potential, being able to recognize that everything that you are seeking is within you. This shit becomes powerful. And I think this becomes a real life-changing moment when you realize that you can access anything that you ever want within you, but just going in and asking the questions. Sometimes we're a little bit scared of the answers that come back, but always know that the answers that will come back are designed with you in mind to help you learn, grow, and evolve. Because every time you ask that question of who am I, there's been a new version of yourself that has evolved through time. So therefore you can keep asking that same question. You're always going to learn a new dimension and a new version of your own self. So therefore you get to have these moments where you really take stock and remind yourself of just how far you've come and become your amazing cheer squad. So I am so stoked that this has really connected with people. Hope it's ignited something within you. If it's made you become curious to go away and ask these questions, that's exactly what I wanted for this Facebook Live to activate within you, for it to trigger off a new way of being and doing within your own self, and for you to realize just how incredibly powerful you are. So please feel free to share this. As always, much love to you, and remember to always believe in your intuitive soul self. It is your most trusted guide. It is always going to be there every single step of the way. All you need to do is go in and ask and have those soulful conversations with yourself. So take care.